Hey guys, back with another YouTube video. In this YouTube video, I'll be teaching you how to print. Printing is really useful because you can do a lot of things. For example, with printing, you can debug scripts, or you could just write anything that you want to see, only the owner. Something I'd like to note is that printing will not show to everybody. It will only show to the developer. So how you want to get started is you want to go to View and then Output. So now you have your output. You can expand it just so you see it. I recommend putting it somewhere like here, so you can have your output here. It's not in the way. You can do your things. So now what you want to do is, just as a representation, you want to say print hello world. Now, this is actually something universal in most scripting languages. Hello world, print. So what you want to do is press play, and you can see it says to only the developer, I like beans. Something I'd like to note as well, in both a script and a local script, you can do both the same exact thing. Since only the developers see it, no players will see it, so it does not matter which area you do it. So now that we have that, I'll show you guys how to actually use it. So I'm going to delete this, and now I'm going to go here. So I made this text label to show you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change this text based off of a print. So what you're going to do is you're going to say print I like beans. So now that it says print I like beans, what you want to do is you want to press play. So as you can see in both the local script, it doesn't matter where you are, it'll do the same exact thing. So now let's say I want to change this label to say I like beans instead of print it. What I would do is, since this is a text label instead of screen GUI, instead of starter GUI, see? So what I would do is I would do script dot parent dot text equals I like beans. And just to go a step further, I'll show you guys a variable. So local beans equals I like beans. So what you could actually do here is you would do beans. And so now the script will change. So since it says local, local defines it as a thing where you can use in any part of the script. Beans, so that means where it says here, you see how it glows? That means whenever it says equals beans, it's saying the same thing here. So I like beans, it equals to I like beans. So beans equals I like beans. So that means script.parent.text equals beans, and beans equals to I like beans. So what it's going to do is it's going to get the value of beans right here. And since the value is I like beans, it's going to print I, it's going to say I like beans. But to show you guys, I'm just going to do this. So now when I press play, what's going to happen is the text label is going to say I like beans, just like this. And so I'm going to stop, and I'll show you guys some more stuff of what you can do. So let's say you want to debug your script because it's not working, but unfortunately it's not giving you an error in the output. Normally there should be an error in the output, but if there's a situation where there's not, printing is a really good way of checking your scripts. So something really popular is when you do wait for child, because wait for child will wait. It won't error. It'll just give you a warning. So what you would want to do is you would say local beans equals, don't write this is just an example, equals game dot workspace dot, no, it's wait for child beans. But beans doesn't exist in workspace. So, but unfortunately what it's going to do is it's just not going to print anything. So even if I put, no matter what I put over here, so let's say I say print I, so I like beans. Even if I do this, it still will not do it because this one thing will halt all of the script. So let's say, so normally, as you saw before, this would print. It would go here and it would say that. But since I'm calling this, but beans doesn't actually exist in workspace. Now it's not going to do this since any code after this will not work. So I'll show you guys an example. So since it's only after, if it's above it, it will work. So uh, works. So step one. All right. So now what it's going to do is it's going to print step one, but it's not going to print I like beans because local beans equals game.workspace, wait for child, beans, but that doesn't exist. So it's going to halt all of the script and it's going to cancel everything just because of this one thing. So as you saw here, since it says step one, let's say this was a really big script and you didn't know why it wasn't working. It just wasn't. What you would do is you could do step one and then let's just do random thing. So local random equals math.random 1 to 2. All right. You don't need to know this. This is just an example. So I could do print step 2 and then local string equals hi. And then now print step 3. And then what you could do after that is then print step 4. And so what you're going to see here is it's going to print step 1, print step 2, print step 3. But because this is a faulty code, it'll halt the script and it won't print step 4, nor will it not print I like beans because everything after that will not work. So it says step 1, step 2, and then step 3. But it will not print 4 and it will not print I like beans. So what I do is I go, okay, so step 1, step 2 was good, and then step 3 was good. And then now I see exactly that this isn't working. So what I could do is say local, instead of doing wait for child, I could just say game.workspace.beans just to show. And it could be a misspell or something. So you could just be misspelling it or something. So beans now equals that, but since beans is not part of the workspace, it'll still error and it will not run any of this script. So even if it's a warning or an error, both of them will stop the script. The only difference is that it will tell you right here. So this is a pretty self-explanatory message where beans, as you can see, is not a part of workspace where there's only base plate. So if I did named a part inside of workspace beans, now what will happen is it'll print step 4 and it'll print I like beans because now beans exists in the workspace and now it can run the script because there's nothing wrong right here since game, which is referring to everything, dot workspace right here, dot beans. So the variable beans. You could even there's some more advanced things, but I can tell you guys in another video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I'll see you guys later.